February is Black History Month, which aims to celebrate the impact African Americans had on creating American history. In the 1960s, racial tensions were high in the Rome community, including at Berry, as people tried to address the national movement towards integration and the fight for equal rights. Charles Love, who works with the Rome nonprofit to improve today's race relations, describes how the civil rights movement played out in Rome. He explains how racial tensions here compared to those of other southern cities.
There were sit-ins here, and I think there were marches. There were some arrests, but it wasn't what you would see in the South at that time in the 60s, as you would see in larger places where there were riots and marches and unrest.
This relatively mild response to racial injustice was due to Rome's small size and the fact that blacks only made up a small minority of the city's population at the time. Rome native Esther Vaughn shares how many Rome city officials and residents were initially resistant to the passing of the Civil Rights Act. It was the collaboration of progressive community leaders that eventually resulted in the better treatment of African Americans in the town.
Even though the law had come down, there were people at that time who chaired boards at one point who said, the way back in the 60s, who said, this is not going to be. But then as we progressed, you had the people who moved forward and wanted to see our community move forward peacefully. And that's what happened.
As Rome slowly moved toward progress, Berry College was preparing for the change head-on. Berry's president, John Bertrand, desired to see the school integrate in the early years of the civil rights movement. However, his concern about receiving backlash from the community delayed any action. History professor Christy Snyder explains how Bertrand was successfully able to integrate Berry with minimal opposition right after the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed.
There was some intimidation going on, but he was very pro kind of integration, and you see that because he cooperated with integration activities in the town as well. But he really needed kind of the backing of this the passage of the Civil Rights Act to really make progress on campus.
Rome's rich history is full of both great achievements and lessons learned. Today, many residents continue their work with city officials to further improve discourse and create opportunities for everyone throughout the city. With Viking Fusion News, I'm Journey Pitts.